Hello, happy Monday. Jackie Broman here for Legally Wise Women. And just a quick video today about the questions to ask a lawyer in your first appointment or in an initial inquiry before you even have an appointment. For those who can get a free initial appointment, try and use that more about sussing out the lawyer and making sure you're happy with them than trying to get all the advice within a half hour first initial appointment for free. So the kinds of things that you want to ask or find out from a lawyer before you go ahead and employ them. And sometimes this information is publicly available on their website because they've already thought about it. Is the lawyer a member of their state law society? So it's not compulsory that we're actually a member, but most good practitioners are a member because we want to be accountable, we want to be held to account by our peers and by that membership. And the membership has best practices and certain levels and standards. And so for those who aren't members, well, they're really missing out a lot of what the industry can offer them. And I sort of think that they might be flying under the radar by not being part of a society that requires best practice. So that's important to find out whether they're a member of their local state law society or institute of law. The second is to ask whether they've got any other qualifications other than their law degree, because quite often lawyers will do further studies, particularly if they're working in a particular legal area. They'll do more graduate studies, potentially through the College of Law. They might do extra conflict resolution training, mediation training, a graduate certificate in a certain area of law or a master's degree, or they might be members of certain practice areas, so helping set policy and best practice in certain areas of the law. So that really shows that the lawyer is up to date and active in their area and meeting best practice again as well. So that can be a good indication. Other things to ask, out of all the work they do, what percentage of their work is this kind of work? So for lawyers who really specialise down, 80 to 100% of their work would be in their particular field, whereas more generalists, they might be practicing across 5 or 6 areas of the law, and so it might be less than 20% of their work in that sort of area. So again, it just gives you an indication of the level of experience and expertise that they have in the area, because while someone might have had a 30-year career in the law, but they're only doing 10% of their work in that particular area versus someone who has 10 years and 80%, age doesn't equal the same level of experience. Things you want to ask as well will be around fees. Will they provide a fixed fee quote? And also, if it's a progressive kind of lawyer, they're not going to just tell you about one pathway. So ask them, what are all the options that they have to a fast or alternate resolution process without having to go to court, and of those options, what are the timeframes, what are the steps, and what are the costs to all of those. So realistically, you'd probably want to get 3 alternative processes out of a lawyer rather than just being filtered into court. And finally, it's always good to ask what is their preferred way of communicating. Now, if you are someone who prefers phone conversation, you might not want to work with a lawyer who prefers email correspondence or vice versa. So they might tick the boxes for everything else, but they might not communicate in the same style that you communicate. And so that can be a deciding factor as well, because you will just frustrate each other because either one won't want to pick up the phone or there'll be frequent emails to look at or answer to. So work out your style of communication and make sure it matches how they want to communicate. So there you go, a few questions to work out, and ask a lawyer or do your research on the lawyer beforehand so that you can work out whether it's someone you want to work with or not. Because remember, you are the consumer, and so it is your choice who to work with and how you want to work with them. So over and out for another week. If you want more on this topic, I've done a longer video on this in my Facebook group, Legal Support for Women, so you can jump over onto Facebook and find that group and apply to join. Hope to see you there.